Hello, and welcome to Pat's Pop Show, a new web series in which I, Pat, review different kinds of pop. Before we begin, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Pat, and I've been drinking pop now going on about 25 years, so I feel like I am an expert in the field. I watch the pop review shows pretty much all the time. I love them, I think they're great, but I can't help but feel that there's something lacking in terms of quality of analysis of flavors and drinking experiences and cultural impact on those shows. And I feel like I am qualified to deliver that service to people. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I just want to start drinking some pop. So let's get right into it with our first pop. Do you know what it is? Okay. I'll give you a little bit of a hint. It's a classic. Okay. Let's not beat around the bush here. It's Coca-Cola. Okay. This is perhaps the most beloved pop in the world. And spoiler alert, it is one of my all-time favorites. The first thing I'd like to review is the can. First thing you see is that fire engine red. If you were in the supermarket and you saw this from the cooler, it would scream out to you like a beacon saying, buy me, try me. And then you see that script, Coca-Cola. You could write almost anything in this script and people would say, like for instance, Patrick. If you wrote it in the script, people would say, isn't that the Coca-Cola script? It's that iconic, right? Let's turn the can a little bit. They're doing something special for the Winter Olympics. They've got a skiing man on it. And this is just great graphic design. It looks good. It's getting me excited about the Olympics. I, for one, had forgotten about the Olympics. I sometimes get my news off these cans of Coke. For instance, this year, I'm a very busy professor at a four-year university. It's a very highly paid, but very time-consuming, stressful job, and I forgot about Christmas. And it wasn't until I cracked open a pop after a day of research and saw those polar bears on the can that I realized you've got to buy a present for your mom, Pat. Come on. Anyway, the Olympics are coming. This is a beautiful can all the way around, front to back, bottom, top. Okay, let's get right into it. Let's crack this thing open. I like to do the little tip tap, and let's hear what this sounds like. Ooh, that is so nice. That's a beautiful carbonated bubbly sound. Let's pour into a tumbler and see what it looks like. Can you hear that? That carbonated, that bubble, that it's effervescent, it's flowing off the top of the surface. Look at the color of this. I'm holding it up to the light and you can just see through it barely. It's a very, very dark color, almost black, oily color for sure. It's almost impossible to see through. You can still hear the bubbles. And when I put it up to my nose and smell, I can feel the bubbles. That is a lovely sensation. That's why people keep coming back to Coke. And now let's try the first taste and see what the sensation is. Oh, wow. That is delicious. The first taste is definitely a carbonated sort of flavor, but as you keep going, you get that sarsaparilla flavor, that molasses flavor, and that brown sugar flavor. This is definitely a cola, but something about this is different than the usual cola. There is a formula at work here that is just exquisite. I think there's probably cinnamon in it. There's definitely sort of a burnt flavor, but not a bad burnt. A very delicious, pleasant burnt flavor. There's a lot of sugar in Coca-Cola, but the sweetness is not overwhelming. It's definitely sweet, but it's the perfect amount of sweet. It picks you up. It makes you feel good inside. It is exquisite, okay? And it makes my stomach feel very light, very airy. You can feel the bubbles go all the way down your esophagus. It's a beautiful feeling. People all over the world, children all the way up to adults, love that feeling. They love the flavor. And I'd like to say a little bit more about the flavor. People often compare Coke to Pepsi. I feel like Coke is for a little bit more of the advanced palate, the consumer who really knows what he or she wants. It's got a complex flavor, rich body, vanilla undertones. It changes with each sip. It really is a great sipping pop. It's great to chug too. I chug all the time, but I love to take this just sip by sip, really enjoy it, and during the evening time. And in terms of score, I got to give Coca-Cola the perfect 10 out of 10. I understand that in the several hundred years ago when they developed Coke, there was cocaine in it, and I can't say whether that's true or not anymore. Like, it's probably not true, but it might as well be, because I drink 4 or 5 cans a day, honestly, and I can't get enough of Coke. So this is a 10 out of 10 pop, and it is probably my all-time favorite pop. I wanted to set the bar really high for Pat's Pop Show, and in future episodes, you're going to see some pops that I perhaps don't love or don't even like, so I'm grossed out. But Coca-Cola will always be a favorite of me. It's a favorite of kids and adults around the globe. So cheers. Coca-Cola, Pat's Pop Show episode 1, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.